welcome back to the Culturally Distinct Podcast, y'all. This is DJ KO. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. We have a special show for you guys today. But first, before we get into the show, I like to thank everybody that subscribed to the show, everybody that told a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about what we got going on up here. I appreciate you guys. We're bringing some good content. I got a couple of good guests coming up here. And I love everything that you guys are doing. I love all the help that I got from everybody. Much love, much appreciation. Now, in saying that, I have a special guest for you guys today. And this guest today, she's not just for the adults, but this is for the kids. Shout out to the kids. I gotta give it up for the kids first. You know what I'm saying? So this individual, we're gonna get into it. So if you pay attention and you watch television, right? So I'm not a big TV watcher, but for the women, most of the women, I'm gonna say women. I'm not gonna put everybody in the class, but for the adults. For some of the adults, if you watch ABC, if you watch Fox, if you watch the Kelly Clarkson show, you've probably seen this individual on there. She was on there promoting this teddy bear that she created. And I saw the teddy bear and I fell in love with the teddy bear, so I had to bring her on. So everybody, I'd like you to welcome our special guest today, Miss Tameka Maiden.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing, ma'am?
Good. Blessed, good, happy.
Awesome.
Yes.
I see you got that smile, you know what I'm saying? Like you just won the lottery, you know what I mean?
I have.
There it is. So look, let me ask you this, Tameka, where exactly are you from before you started?
I am born and raised Houston, Texas.
Okay, H-Town. So all your life, right
all
here?
All my life. Haven't gone anywhere.
Never left, never...
Well, I went to school, but as far as home, this has always been my home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it about Houston? Because a lot of people that I know that's moving to Houston, you know, they hear about Houston, but they hear about the activities of Houston. They hear about, you know, the turkey leg huts or they heard the nightlife, but they really don't know about the business side of Houston. Right. What would you say about that, like, about Houston?
I would say Houston has a lot of opportunities as far as the business aspect of it. I like it just because of the Southern hospitality. Someone is always trying to help others, you know?
Okay.
The networking here is, you know, I feel is one that you can grow from. It's big. Houston is big, but it's small. There's always someone that knows someone, as we just talked about.
Yes, that is true.
But, with that, you always have to maintain a good rapport.
Right.
And so, like I said, just the networking, the Southern hospitality that we have, I think as far as a business, who, you know, someone who's coming into the business aspect, I think it's a good place to land.
Right. Cool. That's dope. And you've been here. How old are you? No, you ain't got to say your age because I thought you was like 27. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know you're trying to be nice, but no, I'm 40 years old.
Okay.
I just made 40 in March. So
okay, congratulations.
Yeah,
shout out to all the mid-aged beautiful women out there. You know what I'm saying? Give a shout out. So let's talk about starting off with this entrepreneur journey on creating.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
So when Tori was one, we were trying to learn our colors.
Okay.
And
Tori is who?
Tori's my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just couldn't get it. And originally I started off, I wanted to do a clothing line. But, you know, competing with Old Navy and different things like that, I was like, my pockets ain't that deep.
Right.
So I was like, let me switch over. I used to be a school teacher. And so that's when I tapped into, I was like, hey, I could take this logo, create a bear, put a voice into it. And at one, Tori knew her colors and her shapes in English and Spanish.
Okay.
So after that, I was like, shoot, let me try it on some more kids, you know. So I started giving them to my friends that were teachers in daycares, and it just went from there. So that's how the concept came about.
So before we even get into the bear, right? Because I heard you say that you was a instructor, an educator.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So was it a reason why you got out of education?
It was. Being in education, you know, when we were in school, it was teaching. It was the one-on-one help. If you didn't get something, you know, you always had the teachers there.
Correct.
Well, when I got into it, it was a little bit different. You know, we were, you know, catering to the testing, a lot of paperwork, and it just wasn't fun for me. You know, it took that connection from my kids away. So, and a lot of the old teachers were like, baby, get out of it while you can. And I'm a type of person where if you tell me not to do something, I'm not going to be like, let me try for myself. You know, I listened and I got out of it.
Okay.
And I pursued my first passion. And then I changed careers and
what was that?
I'm a pharmacist.
Oh, okay, so you went for the money. Shout out everybody that went for the money. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that education is not important. It is.
It is.
Education is very important, but sometimes, education don't pay the bills.
True. And I had to look at the longevity of things.
Right.
If I was to go back to school, it was like I was capped at a certain amount. And I was like, that's more in debt because you got to go back to get your master's
Absolutely.
or whatever. And then you're still not making enough. So I was like, okay, let me sacrifice a few more years and get to the bag.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to that. So now, okay, you stopped teaching, then you went to pharmacy. So now making the money, and I'm taking it that you're, in the age of let's say the age range of maybe mid-30s at this time.
Yes. I was 32 when I graduated from pharmacy school.
In your 30s, early 30s. So what made you, outside of, I know you explained it earlier, but when people are making six figures and plus at that age, a lot of people really not thinking about inventing anything.
Right.
They're not thinking about creating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. What headspace? Like, where did that come from? Was it a premonition? Was it a gift? What was it?
It was God, honestly.
Okay.
Because and I tell this story all the time. After I finished pharmacy school, God had told me that it was something else that he had for me to do, but I never knew what it was. And so I just continued to do the pharmacy thinking that, hey, one day something is going to happen. It wasn't until Tori was born that he gave me this. And then after that, I was like, oh, okay, this is what you have for me. And the reason why I know that is because of how he aligned things for me.
Right.
As you mentioned, the Kelly Clarkson show.
Right.
We've been, people, that stuff don't happen for us.
No, it don't. It don't happen to people that have been in the business for a long time,
So to get those things, and I've only been in business 3 years, not even to brag, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't have this long resume of things that I've done that was just so great.
Right.
That would, allocate me those type of, publishings, and different things like that. So that's how it came about. It was truly God, because I don't think I'm smart, but I'm not that smart.
Right. Absolutely. It's ordained. And then, the thing is, as I'm listening to you, you listen to the voice.
Yes.
A lot of people hear that voice and they might be doing something, for instance, like you said about education. They heard that voice and they listen, but some people just don't listen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You listen. So now you come up with the idea. Why Cubbylove?
So this was a hard decision of
Okay.
creating a name. Everything that I tried to pick, tried to get it trademarked, everything was taken. I lost a lot of money doing that.
Yes.
Trying to get names trademark and brand, it was crazy. And so I said, Tamika, let's just go simple. Cubby, bear.
Yeah.
My whole being, if anyone meets me or comes in encounter with me, I want them to feel loved. You know what I mean? And bears. So just put it all together and I just rolled with it.
Cubbylove Bear. That is simple, right?
Yeah.
So now in having the Cubbylove Bear, I want you to talk about the business side of it. Because like you said earlier, you said something that a lot of people don't understand when they first get into business. You said trademark, right?
Yes.
Some people don't understand copyright.
Yes.
Some people don't understand branding.
Yes.
Things of that nature.
Yes.
So because I'm pretty sure you ran into a lot of pitfalls.
Oh my God.
Right? First of all, I want to know what you ran into first, and then how did you overcome that?
I ran into a lot of things.
Okay.
A whole lot. Number one is because you don't see too many of us creating anything
At
like
all.
this. At all.
At all.
You know what I mean? I don't know anybody that I can go to and say, how do you create a toy for kids?
Right.
That's how I know it was God. So I ran into a lot of obstacles. Just as far as, like you said, trademarking, the importance of that. What are the requirements for that? And a lot of times I was denied, and at this point I really didn't have a lot of money, Still don't, but you know what I mean? Like to lose thousands of dollars
Absolutely.
is big, especially when you're starting off. And it got very discouraging. But with that, I had to learn just keep going. You know what I mean? Don't let the obstacles stop you, because there were a lot. Even the simple things of insurance. You never even think about that. You know what I mean? As far as like kids are playing with your bears, you have to have them insured. You know? So that was another thing. Like, where do you even find somebody? Yeah, we know about car insurance, we know about home, things like that. But insurance to even, cover a bear, that was the hardest thing, because a lot of the companies don't want to take on this risk.
Absolutely.
And so that was another obstacle, but I just kept going. So any of the obstacles that I had or pitfalls, I didn't let it stop me. I just said, okay, Tamika, this is this. Go on to the next step and come back to it. But the only thing is, with this product, you can't skip steps.
Okay.
And I had to learn that the hard way, because a lot of people, when we make a product, we just wanted to get it out there and we just want to sell.
Right.
No. You can't do that with a product. You know what I mean? You have to make sure all T's are crossed, all I's are dotted, because if you have to go back, it delays the process. Because if you have this big, partnership or whatever, you can't move forward until you cross that T.
So let me ask you this before we even get into that, because I'm thinking about, like you say, you can't skip steps. Just creating the bear, the material, right? The technology behind it. You know what I'm saying? You had to have a lot of individuals to be a part of this, and a lot of meetings, a lot of decisions had to be made. Like, who helped you out? Because that could be stressful.
And it's crazy, to be honest, I did it all myself.
Oh, wow.
I did it all myself.
See, black woman magic. See that right there? Black woman magic right there in itself. Right there. Women that's listening, y'all got black woman magic.
I did it all myself, me and God.
Wow.
Like I said, even the manufacturer, like I have a direct connection with my manufacturer. There's no third party.
Okay.
The design of my bear, I did it myself. The everything, the textures of it, the functionality of it, me.
Everything.
Wow.
So now the creation of it and the design. So let's talk about partnership. How do you partner with something like this? Because, we know we have joint ventures when it comes to tech, right? We know we have joint ventures when it comes to real estate, or when it comes to something that, like you said, is a hard asset, right? But when it comes to something like this, first of all, a lot of us don't even have it.
Right.
We think about a Barbie doll or a baby doll. Right. We never think that a person that's black owns that.
Yeah.
So now, when you come pitch for partnerships, how do you do that? It's like, guess what? I have a teddy bear, and I want you to partner. The business side, how does the business take place?
And actually, a lot of them come to me.
Okay.
And so it's easier to kind of gauge where I want to go with my product.
Okay.
I had to learn the hard way that every person that approaches you may not be good for your brand.
Okay.
So I look at the longevity. Like, I'm not just creating a product. I'm creating something for my daughter. I'm creating something for my grandkids. So when I look into partnering or even collaborating, because you'd be surprised, like I've had a lot of big names from all over that have asked to partner with me. But when, like I said, I look at my brand, it has to stand without me standing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be in the forefront all the time.
Right.
When I pass it down to my daughter, I want it to be something that is of substance.
Okay.
So I'm very strategic, and I've passed up a lot of people because of that reason.
So all right. So I'm hearing that, because I know most people go into business with the end goal.
Yes.
For somebody to buy it or they sell, but from the looks of it, you say you in the long term. You waiting for your daughter to pass it down to your daughter.
Yeah.
Then she gonna pass it down to whomever.
Well, see, the thing is with me, if someone comes in and wants to buy,
okay,
I would certainly keep a percentage.
Okay, so you keep what is that, royalties?
Yes,
Royalties.
most definitely,
Okay.
because I've started this from the ground up.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's not something that I'm like, no, I'm holding on to it. Like the royalties of it, I would want to be a part of it. Even if someone bought into it, I would still want to be the creative designer of it.
Right.
I still want to be a part of the brand. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I would like, a big brand to come and speak it into existence.
Okay.
And, see the vision that I'm trying to do. And yeah, I'm for it.
So let me ask you this: while I'm sitting here listening to you, this question keeps hovering over my head, right? What's your passion? Your true, honest passion? Because I know you have gifts. I know you have things that God gave you. What is your true passion?
Helping the kids.
Okay, so it's about
Helping
kids.
yes. Like, it brings a joy to me like no other.
Okay.
And even creating this, it's a passion, and that's what I had to, when I created the bears, I had to understand you go after the purpose and the passion and not the money. Because if you do that, all of that will come.
Right.
And so when I realized that me leaving the school district, I knew those kids were my passion. You know what I mean? So my way of giving back to them was to create something that they could hold on to. You know what I mean? So that's what I ended up doing. It gave me a sense of, okay, I'm still in their lives.
Right,
you
right.
know?
Okay, so I get you. I got it. So what you did, basically, you robbed Peter to pay Paul, in a sense. Well, that makes sense, though,
Why you
because
say that?
because the thing is, okay, well, you figure this. You said, okay, well, I want to have a nice living, right, financially, but I'm not making money in education, but I still love the kids, but I need to find a way where I could gain access to income,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
so I could create something to help the kids.
Right.
Because in this moment, that's important, though, because that's important versus having a passion for kids
Right.
and not having money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You went after the bag,
Yeah.
got the bag, and created after that,
Yeah.
which is important.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people need to hear that because
Yeah.
I think, somebody that's been working in a job for 20 years and they always had this passion saying, go do this, go do this. You can still continue to do this.
Right.
I think in the Bible it speaks about talents.
Yes.
We all have different talents.
Right.
Some have one, some has two, some
Right.
has three.
Right.
That's what you did. You went off after your talent.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Kudos to that. Look, shout out to Tamika for that. Hey. So look, let's talk about the bear. All right.
Okay.
So I see we have 3 bears here, right?
Yes.
We have the bear that gives the numbers.
Yeah, those are the numbers in the alphabets in English and Spanish.
Okay, and we have the one.
Tezzy. So my bears have names.
Okay.
So I've named them.
Okay.
Do you see the vision? I'm trying to go
Okay.
Sesame Street.
I see it. Oh, I got you.
You got me?
So,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you remember? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From branding standpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Name my bears.
So Tezzy is the numbers.
Tezzy is the shapes and the colors. That's the red and the blue.
Okay.
And the orange that's in the box is Ori.
Okay, so you guys can see this. Oh, she's talking to me. If you guys can see this, so this is Tezzy. So and we're gonna zoom in on this, but look, you see the colors on the bear, on the feet, on the ears, right? And this is number. What is no?
Yeah, that's shapes and colors.
Shapes and colors. All right, shapes and colors. That's Tezzy. Shout out to Tezzy. So here we have
Ori.
Ori, the orange Ori,
Yes.
and orange Ori.
The numbers.
Numbers
alphabets.
and alphabets. Ori, right? Yes. Wow. So now we have another one that caught my attention, and this is what for autistic kids, right?
Yes.
And this one you can hold it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that one does what?
This is Ozzy. So Ozzy basically gives commands to help any kids that are non-speaking. So if they need to potty, they have symbols on them. If they're hungry, I'm hungry. If they want to play, will you play with me? So it just has different symbols on there so that the kids can press and communicate either with their caregiver or their mom or, anyone who's around who, they aren't familiar with
Right.
the things that they need or want.
So, and the most important thing, first of all, I like to say the design of the bears is awesome.
Thank you.
And the technology is awesome. It is.
you.
But another thing that caught my eye, they're bilingual.
Yes.
So they just don't speak English. They speak Spanish too.
Yes. So it's a twofold. So a lot of people, when they see the bears, they think that, oh, it speaks Spanish, but it also helps kids who don't speak English.
Right.
So it'll help them learn English.
Vice
So,
versa too.
Yeah, and vice versa. Yeah.
Help the kids that speak English learn Spanish.
Exactly.
That's creative. So that's a God-given ability.
Yeah.
That's dope. So another thing. So let me ask you this. Now, if we have investors, because I'm pretty sure investors are going to come after you. You know, they want a percentage in the bear. We're going to do a Shark Tank, right?
Well, you know what? You know what? Actually, they approached me.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
On Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Really?
And that's what I said. I've had God. This is God. This is God.
So are you going to take it?
Well, COVID happened.
Okay.
And then the show got, I guess they weren't doing any tapings.
Okay.
And so if it comes back, it comes back. If not, then, But the fact that they approached me, that's big for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, because the thing is, they don't just approach anybody.
Oh, no.
They approach something that's a $1 million.
Let me tell you, the crazy thing about it, I didn't even send out to them. I don't know where they saw it at. They reached out to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in saying that, let me ask you this: we're gonna do a mock Shark Tank right here,
God,
right?
I'm not ready.
What percentage are you willing to give up?
I don't know.
I gotta get you ready. You know what I'm saying?
No, give me some time because they on a different level on that show.
Right,
They
but-
are intimidating.
Well, the thing is this. All right. So I'm gonna give you some words of advice, right?
Okay, I'm
so
listening.
you're willing to give 20% of stock for $200,000, right?
Okay.
In your business. So that means they own 20%. You take $200,000 from them. It's gonna be fast math, but we can talk about this on the show. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying I'm your manager, but MC, if you need me to be, I'm
I
just
see
saying.
you trying to put your plug in.
So let me ask you this: so if anybody wanted to like reach out to you to get ideas, because I'm pretty sure somebody is trying to replicate that, because that's how people do it.
Mm-hmm.
People trying to replicate things. If anybody wants to reach out to you to partner or to even buy, or if you want to put it into like certain stores, how can they reach out to you?
So I have a website, Cubbylovebears.com. You can also reach me at info@cubbylovebears.com. And yeah, those are the ways that you can. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, anything of that nature.
Right.
We usually do like a lot of sponsorships and
Okay.
donating, different things like that. But yeah, I'm open to it. I'm open to it.
So do you guys do like events and like church, not church, well, I can say church events and like what is that? Like what is that thing just passed? The rodeo, stuff like that.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Because I had to learn the hard way.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people they want you to donate.
Right.
Donate. But I had to learn that keep it at a minimum.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sometimes in the beginning, because I was trying to get the exposure, I was trying to get the brand out there, I felt like I was doing too much.
I got you.
And then, but I had to learn the hard way.
Right.
But now I do. It has to make sense,
I got you.
monetarily and mentally. For me to do things like that, because, when I first started, I was funding this from my pharmacist job. So taking a loss was really taking a loss.
Right.
So I had to learn to make sure that it's going to benefit the brand, and just because everybody calls you out. You get to an event and it's like 5 people there, but you done donated all these bears,
Right, right.
and you don't get, not saying that everything should be like a grand all type thing, but when you don't do your homework and your research on what you're doing, you can lose out.
So let me ask you this: does it get overwhelming? Because the thing is, okay, now in business, because God blessed me to have a couple of businesses, things, whatever. But I know sometimes it becomes overwhelming when you have a great product like this, and you're gonna have a lot of people reaching out to you, a lot of opportunities, right? Plus you have your child, plus you have your job. Are you a single mother?
I am a single
You're a
mom.
single mother, so you're doing a lot of stuff by yourself,
Yeah.
right? So when it becomes overwhelming, how do you handle that?
I had to learn to just step back.
Okay.
And just because during COVID, it was crazy. Like I was literally on interviews like every day. Mind you, trying to juggle motherhood. Mind you, still going to work. Sometimes I would do interviews right before it was time for me to go to work.
Wow.
Sometimes in the car, you know, just because I didn't want to miss that opportunity. But now I had to learn how to pace myself because I was missing the moments.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like being on the Kelly Clarkson show, like that's big.
Absolutely.
But I didn't get to take it all in because I had another interview that next day, or I had, something that I was trying to, business, wise that I was trying to do, that very next day.
Right.
So I had to learn how to embrace the moment because you don't get them back. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Yeah, I won't ever get that first initial reaction of seeing my daughter and I on TV. So I had to learn to just step back sometimes. It's okay, because in the business of entrepreneurship, people will tell you grind. You gotta get up at 5 a.m. You gotta do this. Yes, you do have to grind. You do have to be consistent. Yes, all of that is the key. But you also have to take time to take care of yourself. And I had to learn that because if I didn't, I was missing that my baby's growing up, I don't get that time back.
Right.
And I'm like, this is not, I had to learn that this is not what feeds me.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is something that I enjoy doing. Now, people who are true entrepreneurs,
They
that's a
shut
different
it
story.
all
Yeah,
down.
yeah, you got
They put
to.
it all in
yeah,
one.
you have to. But that's the beauty of why I won't quit my job. Because everybody was like, well, won't you do this full time? Well, it doesn't allow me the flexibility to say, hey, I don't want to do Cubbylove Bears today because I got to pay the bills.
Right.
I can still pay my bills and say, hey, I'm just not going to do Cubbylove Bears today.
Right.
So that's the flexibility that I love. And, like I said, I know when I need to take a break.
Right.
It does get overwhelming.
Yeah, because, right now, as we know, mental health is a real thing.
Yes.
Right. And you work in pharmacy. You see what type of medicines that being prescribed. Mental health is a real thing, and a lot of us in our community, we don't understand that when we're overwhelmed by something or stressed by something or have anxiety, we don't understand how to handle it.
Right.
That's why I asked that question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And a lot of times, and like I tell a lot of people, there's so many prescriptions that I fill for antidepressants,
Right.
And that's something that joggles my brain as I'm feeling. I'm like, okay, Tamika, if you don't slow down and take care of, this
Right.
could be you, or anxiety medication, or sleeping medication. Some people have to take medication to go to sleep.
Absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
what would happen with me, my mind would be racing so much at night. Oh, I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do this tomorrow. To where I was floating on maybe 2 hours of sleep. And then my manufacturers are in China.
So that's
the time
reverse.
zones are different.
Right.
So while we're sleeping, they're up. So I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning, Skyping. Mind you, I got to get my baby ready for school. Mind you, I got to go to work.
Right.
So yeah, you have to take time and just say.
So let me ask you this. I want to ask you this, man. Why? And this is, this is one of these off the loop questions, but I just want to ask you this because I know you're a busy person, right? And you're a single mother and you got a lot going on.
Yes.
So what if when you meet a guy, you would never have time for him?
I do.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
do.
It's like where do you fit time for a man? Because it's like, okay, you got so much stuff going on, and which is positive.
Right.
Right? It's a positive thing, but you have so much time on your hands, right? I'm sorry, you have so much stuff that you're doing with limited time.
Right.
So if a person, I'm pretty sure, men going to see this and they're going to be hitting you up in your DMs. I'm just letting you know right now. So it was like, okay, she's a pretty woman. Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Right? And it was like, okay, well, let me hit her up. So the thing is, where do you get the time to fulfill your personal life?
I have a great support system.
Okay.
I have an amazing support system.
I got you.
And my mom knows that, hey, Tamika needs a break. I get a break. And even with someone coming into my life, I like to date people who understand running a business. You know what I mean? Because when I date someone that's an entrepreneur or whatever, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand sometimes you may not just have time for me. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? I don't take it personal. Why? Because I've too been in your shoes.
Right.
You know what I mean? I couldn't date a guy who just sits at home all, you know what I mean? Like, I can't. I just can't, because you don't understand the grind of what it takes. You don't understand. I may just can't go out to eat, but you know, I'll put it on my schedule so maybe we can go out to eat. But everything has to be planned with me.
Absolutely.
Nothing is spontaneous.
I
So
got
if
you.
y'all looking to, you know, I don't do hey, let's go out, you know, tonight at 3. No.
Well, you know, I think after a certain age, you know, I think spontaneity is kind of, it happens, but it's not like, because everybody is busy.
Right.
Well,
Right.
everybody's supposed to be busy.
Right.
You know what I'm
right,
saying? You know.
Right.
So, yeah. So now, Cubbylove.
Yes.
Cubbylove. I want to ask you, who thought about the technology, like the technology in the bear?
I did.
So I'm saying, how, like,
So I knew that from having my daughter, I knew that everything was technology. Her iPad, you know, shoot, these kids are working phones at one, you know, I had to ask her, even now sometimes, how do you do this? Or,
Right.
you know, you've seen a recording, you know.
Right.
She knows what to do. So I was like, well, how can I bring in what the future is going to be? You know,
Right.
back in the day, we were writing. We didn't have technology. So I had to think of longevity. Like I said, everything I'm doing is longevity that will sustain, you know, way farther than, you know, when we're here.
Absolutely.
So that's
Yeah.
how I was like, okay, I need to get something that's tangible, but also incorporate something that the kids love. And so that's how the technology came about.
because I was looking at it, I'm like, this is creative. And I'm like, you have to have some type of technology and background in Silicon Valley or something like that.
I don't. I don't have any. The only thing I knew was that I said, hey, can you make this, put a voice in? Well, you know, and another thing was I study other products.
Okay.
So I went to Walmart. I went to Target.
So you put the work in.
I put the work in.
Right.
I looked at the packaging. You know what I mean? I looked at everything that they had. I did my homework. And I said, okay, they have this. This is what they're putting in there. I talked to my manufacturer. Hey, can you do it? Oh, they can do anything.
Okay.
Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this final question. The why.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing this? Why? Like, why? I understand the reason of being because the passion and all that, but I want to know the why.
I want little kids to look at me and say, man, if she was able to do this, I can too. I want other single moms to say, hey, if she can juggle this, I can too. I want just anybody who has a dream or a passion that feels that, you know, there's just not enough time in the day to do it, that it can be done. That's my why. My why is beyond me. You know, I want to be inspiring to someone else. I want to be, you know, someone that they look to even come for help and guidance. You know, with me, I'm like, I'm not that type that, you know, hold on to information.
Okay.
I'm willing to help someone else. So truly my passion and my why is to help people. It's just I've created a product.
That's
you know
dope.
what I mean? So yeah, that's my why.
That's dope. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming up here, giving us, you know, that information and showing us the bear, because it's something dope. And, you know, I think everybody needs to invest in that, especially if you have young kids, if you have kids that need to learn Spanish, because in the year of 2030, I believe that 30% of more people would have to know Spanish as well as English. So that would teach a lot of kids now.
And that's the thing, even when creating the product, I looked at, even when I'm Skyping, I'm looking out of an economic standpoint. You know what I mean? They know our language.
Correct.
We don't know theirs.
Absolutely.
So it makes them more powerful in the economic standpoint, because they can communicate with us, you know, so they have a twofold.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas with us, all we know is English. And that's why I was like, we have to build our kids up, because a high school diploma or college degree,
Oh, it ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want to know, even with me, when I bring you onto my company, I need you to be bilingual, because I need you to be able to communicate with all sectors, you know, within a company, so that we can get this bag.
Right, absolutely.
I'm not going to hire you if you can't, if I have someone who can speak English and Spanish and I have someone who can just speak English, I'm going to pick the one that's bilingual.
Absolutely.
Because of the longevity and seeing the economic standpoint of it.
That's
so
smart.
yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't get it. We get it. Like, I wish when we were taking those high school classes and they were, we were just trying to get a grade. Man, I wish.
Electives.
Yes. I wish I would have taken the time.
Right. But you know what's funny, though? Funny you say that. And I was an athlete. But I took Spanish all the way up to Spanish 3. And the only reason I went to Spanish 3 because, and this is just my personal story by you saying that, my Spanish teacher, she was like, Adam, you have a gift. You could pick the language up like so fast.
Yes.
And I did. And I went all the way to Spanish 3. Fast forward, I got, at my job, I got deployed to Puerto Rico, right, for 2 years. Of course, majority of the island speaks English, but majority speak Spanish.
Yes.
So I was not just willing to learn more because Spanish 3 from high school to this point, I forgot a lot of stuff.
Right.
But it came back so fast,
Yes.
and I understood it. And I
Yes.
speak it, understand it. So it was like first hand for me.
Yes. So
But-
even when you say that,
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to start it when the kids were young, because they're sponges. And a lot of times, even being an educator, a previous educator, when they're that young, even when they learn a second language, study says that it helps with their cognitive skills, critical thinking.
Yes.
Because just imagine at that small age, they're able to tap into 2 languages and understand how to separate the 2.
Right.
So it's creating, making their brain cells even stronger. Like my daughter, she skipped a grade. And I think I'm smart, but you know what I mean? Like, I started her early.
Okay.
I started her with my bears early. And like I said, she knows a little bit of it, and she picked up really, really quick. So that's why I say, that's why I build it for the younger generation, so that we're the only ones who just don't get it.
So look, I got a branding stamp you can put on the box. Guarantee that your child will skip a grade.
You're about to give me sued.
He's like, my child didn't skip a grade.
Right.
Actually, my child failed. Nah.
Right.
I could do that.
No, Adam.
So look, Tamika, we're going to get out of here. So look, I want the people to know exactly how can they find you, social media platforms, if they want to invest, how can they get in contact with you?
So we're on Cubbylove Bears, and that's Cubby, love, LOVE, Bears, BEARS. We're on Instagram, Facebook. You can go to our website. We have a website where you can purchase. Like I said, if you need to get in contact with me personally, you can email me at info@cubbylovebears.com. We're always checking our emails, and everything. So yeah, I'm open to working.
There it is right there. So look, guys, you know what it is. Look, every time somebody comes on here, Culturally Distinct, you know what happens. We speak things into existence, and things happen. If they don't happen this year, they're going to happen the next year or the next year. Just look, make sure you guys hit Tamika up. Make sure you guys invest in the bear. If you don't want to do business, if you just want to purchase the bear, make sure you hit her up, because her story is awesome. And just remember that your child will skip a grade. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. But guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in to the show. Tamika, one more time, social media.
Cubbylove Bears. Facebook,
Everything.
Instagram, everything. We're there. You'll find us.
Cubbylove
Look for
Bears.
that little bear with the green and blue face.
There it is. What's their names again? The bears.
This is Ozzy. This is Ori, the orange bear. Tezzy is the red and the blue bear. And we also have a yellow bear, and that's Yancey. And then we have a Bluetooth bear, a speaker bear that plays music through the bear.
Oh,
has
dope.
Speakers on the bear. So yeah, go check us out. We have good things on there.
There it is. Cubbylove Bears. Make sure y'all hit Tamika up. Look, I appreciate her coming on. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. I love you guys.